Mbilli Derevyanchenko Post fight thoughts. Let's go.
Push the weight and no flex. Flex alive is one in the six. With the runner boy, you nigga, no question. You will run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm an 88 pack nigga. I'm an 88 pack nigga. I mean, day walker, drink blood, fangs out. Full moon, motherfucker, change like a hoe, nigga. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
Drew Titan Bronze on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. Oh, wow. Bit to discuss here. Christian Mbilli versus Sergey Derevyanchenko. Not a boring fight at all. First and foremost, we all know what we get with Sergey Derevyanchenko, man. This guy is an absolute dog. I think he's in my opinion, he's underappreciated. But the only people that don't underappreciate him are the people he's in the ring with, because when you sign on the dotted line to fight Sergey Derevyanchenko, you know you're in for a dogfight. This man is not going to go in there and lay down for you. This guy's an animal, man. We saw him against Triple G. I thought he won that fight a couple of years ago. We saw him in there against Jaime Munguia, gave him everything he could handle. I mean, great stuff from Sergey Derevyanchenko, and he showed that he's a dog in this fight, man. Nothing to hang your head about. I listened to bits and pieces of, I unmute the broadcast. I want to see what they're saying in between rounds. I think around round 3 or 4, he had a bicep injury, and I noticed that when I unmuted the TV. His corner asked him, something to the effect of what was up with his arm. Can you throw it? And he said he can't throw it. And I said, okay. He has a bicep injury, but he could have bailed at any point. He did not. In fact, he started to land with the right hand that he could throw, if I'm not mistaken. He started to land with it. I said, what's going on here, man? This guy, man, absolute, dog. This guy, Sergey, has a high ring IQ. He was hurt several times in this fight. He's 38 years old. His legs were kind of betraying him towards the end of the fight, but not once did he even consider giving up, man. His corner was saying, look, man, if I feel you're taking too much punishment, I'm gonna throw in the towel. But he didn't take that much punishment to the point where they did that. So I just want to say, starting off, salute to Sergey, man. Salute to Sergey. There's going to be a lot of discussion. Should his team have stopped the fight? Wow, that's going to be a conversation to have. On one hand, in my opinion, he has gunfights like this. On the other hand, the fact that he was pretty much handicapped, it was something to consider. Did he take a beating that he might feel later in his life? Probably, but you could say that about all of his fights. Was this the guy you should be gambling against? I don't think so. But fortunately, I don't think he took... I've seen worse beatings, I'll say that. But this was a gamble doing it against Christian Mbilli. Now, Christian, there's no controversy here. Christian Mbilli clearly won the fight. He was walking forward. He's a high action fighter. He's in your chest. He likes to mix it up on the inside. Makes for a really, really, really fun fight. Okay, so now it was a 10-round fight. I may have given. I really wasn't scoring it. I was just going over the eye test real quick. I forget. I did give Sergey a round. Don't ask me which one. I forgot. But I had him losing 9 rounds. So I forget which round I gave him, though. I really do. It may have been one of the earlier rounds. But Mbilli, this guy's dangerous. He's in your chest. He has high octane, very great cardio, throws a lot of shots. And like I said, he's a fun guy to watch. Now, when you watch Christian Mbilli, you watch fights like this, you can't help but to compare him to his contemporaries at 168. A lot of people are not high on him in his style. He walks forward. He can get hit. A couple of things I didn't like. I didn't like how he goes in on the inside without a jab. He has some head movement. I like to see more head movement. Um, I like to see him move his head up the line and get out the way of an uppercut. Like to see that. But he'll be all over you like a cheap suit. He will. Now I know it's the easy thing to say. Like if he gets in the ring with Canelo Alvarez, they'll say, oh well, Canelo will just parry and slip punches and throw uppercuts. He probably could do that, but I need you guys to understand that Canelo, in dog years, he's very old. In dog years, he's very old in boxing. You understand? And I believe that if Christian Mbilli was food, he'd have ate him already. Instead of trying to run over, all the way up to cruiserweight and try and fight Makabu or Badu Jack or in ducking Benavidez and all this other stuff. I think that if this kid was easy work, I think he'd have did it already. And then, before people come in here and say, oh, well, what is he getting fighting Christian Mbilli? My answer to you is Avni Yildirim. I mean, once Canelo did that, you can't tell me anything. Avni Yildirim? Stop it. What has he done since? Nothing. Okay, thank you. At least Christian Mbilli is highly ranked. And he's also one of Canelo's responsibilities. So there's something about this kid that he'd rather not deal with. And at this point in his career, maybe he don't want this kid with a high octane engine and a gas tank, and he could take a punch. Maybe he don't want this kid in his chest like that. I'm too far in my career. I don't need to put up with crap like this. I don't need to put up with this dude all over me where I have to legitimately fight him off. I don't need to put up with that. Maybe he's, saying that. But don't you dare tell me it has anything to do with seat sales, because him and Canelo and David Benavidez would have did blockbuster sales in September. And he's not doing it. And Canelo's the face of boxing, most would, believe. So why not face Christian Mbilli? You already got us with Avni Yildirim, did you not? The difference is this guy's a greater threat. But there are some things I'd like to see Mbilli do. I suspect that this is just who he is as a fighter, and he won't make the changes unless he needs to. When I say he needs to, I would say he would have to have a bad outing with the style that he's using right now. Sergey Derevyanchenko, with or without the bicep injury, I don't think he could have. He may have won maybe about another 3 rounds probably, but I didn't see him winning this fight at all. Because Christian Mbilli is he's right up there. Does he beat Benavidez or Morel or we don't know. We have to see these fights. But I don't want the thing with Canelo is that Canelo's putting these guys in a position where they have to fight each other. And the last man standing, he'll try and pick them off. Now, that's chess, not checkers. But let's make it clear, that's what this guy's trying to do. But Christian Mbilli is a dog himself, and he's an exciting guy to watch in this ring. And speaking of the ring, that was a tight-ass ring, was it not? I mean, they didn't want anybody moving. My gosh, that ring looked kind of small to me. Am I bugging? Y'all let me know. But my gosh, man. But, Christian Mbilli's for real. There are some discrepancies, But if you get into a gunfight with him, you got to be first, man. Because this guy, he's in your chest, man. And he's an exciting fighter to watch. He really is. And good win, but salute to Sergey Derevyanchenko. I don't think, people talk about retirement and things of that nature. I don't think it's that serious for Derevyanchenko, but what he does next, I don't know. He's one of those guys now, like if you have a pay-per-view, you could throw him on the mid-card or whatever. I mean, this guy, I have no beef for Sergey Derevyanchenko, man. But he just ran into Christian Mbilli tonight. And I think it's time to start putting some respect on Christian Mbilli's name because he's a major player. All this talk about David Morrell and David Benavidez, I get it. But now you got to start mentioning Christian Mbilli. You got to start mentioning him, man. You really do. I like his style. As far as he's a game fighter, and again, there are some things I like to see him do a little better. You know, looping shots, they could be very predictable. They can. But you know, again, you mix it up with this brother, you got to be first. Don't let him be first, because he's gonna be all over you like a cheap suit. And if you have an expensive taste, you ain't gonna want no smoke with Christian and Billy. But salute to both fighters. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Bronx on deck.
Move!